Morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Excuse me. I just want to quickly go over yesterday's point, but again, just a quick overview followed by the continuation. So, overview of yesterday, we talked about preparing for the week. Preparing for the week allows us to make life easier during the week. The reason why life is made easier is because we're already expecting something. When you have an expectation, it's easier to know what you're looking for. It's like, how do I describe this? If I say yellow car, you're more likely to see a yellow car. That's a quite famous saying or famous analogy. Another example is you may not notice a car, but if someone's talking a lot about Tesla, you'll start seeing every single Tesla that passes by because your mind is expecting it. Not necessarily in the conscious mind, but in the subconscious mind, you're expecting it. So if you can consciously expect, so I got a spike in my bit rate for some reason. Hold on. Let's see how bad it is. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Okay, the stream seems to be fine, so I'm just gonna continue. You can see here, look, getting drop frames, which is why I was doing those tests. But it seems to be decently fine. I'm not sure why I even have that, but anyway, let's continue. So yesterday we were talking about preparation, and we're expecting, or rather, our expectations are easier to be met when we have them. You know, if you're expecting marriage, or if you're expecting something, you're easier to come across somebody and know if they're for you or not. Because a lot of people say, how do I know if this is the right person? Well, you're not looking for the right person. You haven't defined the right person. You don't know what the right person will look like. So, of course, you won't know. When it comes in front, when the person comes in front of you or appears in front of you, you don't know why, because you didn't have an expectation. You didn't have a definition. If I had the definition of somebody I want to meet, I want to make a friend, and I want the person to be tall. I want the person to be funny. I want the person to have money. I want the person to be business minded. I want the person to be honest and transparent. Well, what happens when a tall person comes along who has a lot of money, who is very friendly, very kind, and fills all the checklists I have? Well, I won't have to think about, is this person going to be my friend? Do I want to be this person's friend? They make me laugh. They tick off everything that I'm looking for, and so it makes it easier to decide that that's my friend. And you can apply that to everything in life. Why? Because when you have an expectation, it is essentially the breeding ground for the results. And the reason why it's the breeding ground for the results is because a farmer puts a seed down. But what's interesting, when they put the seed down, they have an expectation of that seed becoming a fruit. Now, it's not an expectation that necessarily makes things happen, but because of expectation, they willingly do it. They put themselves in the position to sow the seed. So it's the expectation that brings you to places that your answer or your expectation will be found. It's easier for a farmer's expectation of fruit to be met at the soil. If I had the expectation for fruit, but I'm never planting a seed, well, that's just expectation with no basis. You need the expectation and you need something to back it up. But with your expectation, it's like your wallet or your phone that you carry around. It's with that expectation that it will guide you to the place you need to be. But you have to carry it with you. You can't just have it and leave it at home. Otherwise, what is that going to happen? You know, how is that going to happen? How's that going to work for you? So in trading, how do you expect how do you utilize what I just said. Well, we talked about how to prepare, and preparation is almost equal to expectation, because within your preparation, you're expecting something to happen, and that's where you wait. You expect it, so now you wait. You know what it looks like. You defined it. So yesterday we were talking about NZD USD. You can see this is the area of liquidity that we're looking for to be swept, and it swept it, which is the weekly high of last week, so 2 weeks ago. And this low is the weekly low for last week. This is the weekly high for 2 weeks ago. We took this out. This was where retail would see this as resistance. So if price comes up here, retail is selling this, price ticks up, takes this liquidity out into this 4-hour order block right here, and price then moves downwards. We were expecting this shift to the downside. We also saw that we could have got in around here, but it would have been very aggressive because that's a slower time frame swing low, and we got that taken out, and then we kind of continued onwards. And of course, we'll be taking partials if I was in that trade. Now, the reason why I didn't enter that, or first of all, I missed that, was a bit too early. But the reason why I didn't re-enter the other opportunities that presented itself is because we defined what we was looking for in DXY yesterday as well. We wanted price to push up, pull back, and then push up to this weekly high. The only way I was going to be entering a buy is if we displaced and took out this swing high here with displacement. You can see we had a displacement, but it didn't take out this high. So we just had a partial displacement and then a slight continuation. So with that, excuse me, with that in mind, we had that partial displacement and then a continuation. Now, obviously, NZD USD is a factor of DXY, but it's not exactly DXY. So DXY can still have a minor movement, while NZD USD has a major movement, vice versa. They have some correlation, but they're not directly one-to-one related. So that's why I didn't enter that buy. And the reason why I was looking for that displacement is because I wanted clear manipulation. And the reason why I wanted clear manipulation is because we have a bearish sentiment. So that bearish sentiment, which is for market structure, is a sell idea. And that overall underlying tone of the market can execute at any moment in time. I've been on the wrong side of it, so I know from experience. And because of that, I don't like buying against it, but I know that it's possible to do so. And the reason why I know it's possible to do so is because when you're bullish, you still have bearish pullbacks. So it's like you're buying the retracement. And we looked at the ideas of buying to the optimal trade entry, buying to the midpoint, which is lined with the weekly fair value gap, or buying to this liquidity area and then sweeping it to then come down. So there is multiple places where price can go to on the upside or the buy side and take or reach before it then continues downwards. So there is some ideas for buying that is valid. Obviously, I would rather enter a sell because of the sentiment, but until price action lines up on a specific time frame, that may not happen at that moment in time. So it's likely that we come up first and we had the prerequisites for it. For example, we swept equal lows again where retail would buy. We saw that those equal lows got taken out, which is also the weekly low. So we had two areas or two pools of liquidity being taken out. And when that happens, when price takes the buy side liquidity, we should expect to move to the upside, which is what we're expecting, not necessarily what will happen. Now, the reason why I'm liking this idea, or I'm even open to the idea of buying it, is because of the fact that I'm learning and I'm practicing precision. And I have an example, I thought this off stream, about precision and why precision is important. It's like a sniper. A sniper is a very precise weaponry. It is meant for long distance targets. It is very accurate. It's a single firing weapon. It's not semi-automatic. It is not fully automatic. What does that mean? It shoots one bullet at a time. So you can't miss. Well, you can miss, but you shouldn't miss because you won't really get the opportunity again. So a sniper is a one and done, big bam boom shot. It's a one and done, right? So the precision of a sniper, you notice that anybody can buy a sniper in theory, right? Not literally because of laws, but anybody can own a sniper, but it doesn't mean you'll hit your shot. It doesn't mean you'll be precise. But the value of a sniper is actually in the person holding the sniper. The sniper is one thing, but the danger of a sniper is actually the person holding it. What does that mean? That means you can have two snipers, and I'm talking about people rather than an actual weapon, aiming at a target, but only one hits their target. And the reason is because one person has the better skill set than the other person. So as a trader, we need to become snipers ourselves. We have the opportunity to hit our target. We have the opportunity to hit our mark, but it's not going to happen unless me, my physical body becomes a personhood, becomes the sniper itself. becomes the precision itself. So how does that then translate into the markets? Well, if you need precision, you have to understand precision. You cannot get you cannot become good with a sniper if you don't understand it, unless you're like generationally what's it called, 1 in a million genetically talented, for example. But for a repeatable exercise or repeatable, I was gonna say software, but repeatable skill set, you would have to have the non-understanding of it to help you. So one thing that'll help you with a sniper is to understand how it works, right? You pull the trigger, you have to, there's a lot of recoil, you get into a certain position. The next thing you maybe want to know is what type of caliber weapon it is. Maybe you know what you can achieve. You know the potential of the weapon. You know it can only reach a certain distance. So you have some practice with it, right? You probably take it to a practice ground, train with it, and you then get trained. Now it's easier when somebody else is teaching you. Imagine self-teaching yourself how to fire a sniper. You may pick up on bad habits, or you may not utilize it to its full potential. So that's why mentoring is always a good thing. If you can find a mentor, find one. I recommend ICT trader Michael J. Huddleston. Is it Michael J. Huddleston? I believe his name is. He's seen in my earlier videos and live streams. He's all over my channel. So having a sniper or being a sniper are not the same thing. You raise your skill sets by understanding the sniper itself. So you understand your strategy. Your strategy is the sniper, right? You have to understand the markets fully to even be able to enter the opportunity to become a sniper. If you don't have the understanding, you are shooting at in the fog. You're shooting in smoke. It's difficult. So precision, you need understanding. Another thing about precision is that experience matters. Sometimes you may have the best sniper, may have the best knowledge of it, etc., but it doesn't always play out because you need to know by experience how it affects how the gun condition is, how the market condition is, such as the wind, the environment you're in, the elevation, all these different things. There are going to be a little nuances that may affect the shot. Like today, you may feel like, you know, certain weapons you can have the same gun, right, but one has a offset that is more so calibrated to, it has a left offset, so you have to calibrate a bit more to the right. So sometimes you have to have that experience to know how to alter things to fit the market conditions. So as a sniper, when you're being precise, there's going to be things that will throw you off, basically. Sometimes in your precision, you're going to see things happen that you don't, doesn't make sense. You're going to see external factors that you can't put your finger on. It doesn't matter, right? Because your precision is not based on external environments, it's based on you. So you keep yourself skilled and you keep to your skill sets. You don't expand outside of it. And then when you are presented with an opportunity or environment that you're unfamiliar with or doesn't make sense, you then lean on experience. If you don't have much experience, you get experience, right? So understanding and experience are the two things and two factors I've explained that contribute to precision. And we'll probably talk about this in greater detail in another video or another live stream where I'm showing my face. So get a little nugget in this one. To follow up with your preparation, what did you prepare for? Your expectation is what you should be looking for. You shouldn't be looking for anything you haven't prepared for. And if you see something that happens to be outside your preparation, but you know is right, you have to take that into the place of learning. Where I would advise you either have a demo account or I'll just say demo account for now. I would personally probably have another account where I'm willing to lose all the money that I'm inputting, but I would recommend a demo account, paper trading, demo fake money first, okay? That's what I would recommend. In fact, everything I teach is about demo accounts anyway, or showcase, I should say. So I have my eye on the markets. Remember, this is what we're still looking for. Would I get into this? Yes, I would, because if I see a displacement and then a pullback, I'll be happy. Now, the only thing is that this fair value gap has already been pulled back into, and it didn't take out this high, so I cannot use that. With NZD/USD, however, I could potentially wait for price to reach this order block right here. See this bullish push, and then I would be looking for potential sells from it. So essentially, long story short, too long didn't read. This is my vibes. This is our target for the week. I am looking for areas to sell. That's called high probability. So I'm assuming the same would be for the other pairs, but NZD/USD seems the best for sales right now. but also have to acknowledge that this could just be a part of a pullback, so it would be passive with the risk and also management. So I think that's everything. I mean, I don't see much movement right now. It's probably news, right? Okay, I'm just gonna send an alert. This is like the most passive idea. It is essentially getting in a little bit early with this bullish area here, and then accounting for this order block right here with a bit of spread and wick potential, and then of course targeting the overall area here. So I think that's very passive. To reach lower lows is 1 to 1.23, which is actually not bad. But yeah, I'm acknowledging that, and this will be my trade for the week. Remember, this is, excuse me, the weekly target. If this was a daily time frame, I could be targeting this for the day. To be fair, I probably could target it for, basically it's my target. Point blank period, it's my target. If it reaches it, beautiful. Now, how many times I get in to reach my target, that's up to me. I can get in on multiple times, multiple different pullbacks. But the idea is that that's my target for the week. So 1 to 4, that could be what I make for the week. That's one. If you risk 1%, that's 4% made for the week. I don't rush. I don't overdo. I'm out here chasing quality, not quantity. So that's all for the week. Sorry, all for today. I do have to go out later today as well. So there's gonna be less time for me. I'm gonna be more busy than normal, or busier than normal. So I won't be able to. Well, I won't not be able to, but I won't stream today. So yeah, it's me, your boy CJ. Hope you guys learned something, and I will see.